Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. My name's AJ and I'm going to be talking about Gordon Chang today. And I'm going to give you my views of what I think of him, his articles, his theories, and what my views are of his childhood and why he is being the way he is. So before I start, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, whatever you can help to promote the channel. And don't forget, the more you view the video, the more it gets sent out there. And also check your comment sections as well, because YouTube has got a tendency of deleting lots of YouTube comments, so make sure you check that it's still there, keep refreshing and things like that. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. So a bit of background information on this guy. He was born in 1951. He's born to an American mother and his father is Chinese, but he is American as he was born in America. And one thing I noticed is he's born in Cornell Law School, which I'm going to go into a bit further on. But those who know American law school, Cornell Law School is one of the best law schools you can be in. And their fees are about $100,000 per year. And so it's not cheap. So it says here, his father is from Rugao, Jiangsu in China. And he's born in 1951. So it just makes me think, how can a Chinese immigrant afford Cornell Law School? There is no bloody way, absolutely no way, 100%. So it makes me think whether this guy was maybe adopted or something, because this information does not give much information about his father, his name, what he's doing, what he did. It doesn't give much information about his mother. So it can be one or two things. He was either adopted, or he was, or there was a divorce, and his Chinese father and mother had a divorce, and his mother remarried to a rich guy, and he could afford it. But there is no way a Chinese immigrant could afford a Cornell Law School unless his father was part of the Kuomintang party, and when they escaped to Taiwan, a lot of them also went to America as well, and they had a lot of money. Obviously they stole a lot of treasure, gold and things like that. So he could have been part of the Kuomintang party, or he was a pro-party member or a pro-party nationalist, who knows. But there was a lot of rich people that went with the Kuomintang party to Taiwan, and lots of educated and lots of scientists and intelligent people went with the Kuomintang party to Taiwan. But also a lot of them emigrated to the States as well, America and things like that. So it could be that. But most likely, the fact that he's not talking about his father, he's not giving his name, I don't think he knows. I think he was probably adopted, or his mother remarried with somebody rich and they could afford Cornell Law School. Because there is no way an ordinary Chinese, especially during the 1950s, 60s, 70s, could afford Cornell Law School. And you can't get into Cornell Law School without being somebody, because the way it works in America, if you're a middle class citizen, there is no way you can get to Cornell Law School. Even if you've got the money, you can't get in. You got to know people to get in there. You got to have the right contacts. You got to be a somebody. So I got a feeling his mother either remarried somebody quite well known, or he was adopted to a rich family or something like that. So enough about this guy. Let's talk about what he's been writing. So this guy has been writing this ridiculous book, The Coming Collapse of China. He's been writing it since 2001. This is a revision. Every few years he would revise it, and he'd keep on revising it. As you can see, it's 2012 edition, and he said something like, "I admitted my prediction that they would fall by 2011 was wrong. Still, I'm only a year off." He's been rewriting this edition every couple of years, and it's now 2021 and he's still wrong, and he's completely shut up about it. And I just don't understand why people keep taking this guy seriously. It's like It's like one of those gypsies you meet in fairgrounds and in a circus. So you go into the tent and the gypsy pulls out a crystal ball, and they predict your future for the next few days. And the next few days goes and they're completely wrong, and you keep going back there, paying your well-earned money, and they predict your future again for the next few days, and they're completely wrong, and you do that for 20 years. So who's stupid? Are they stupid, or are you stupid for giving out your money to somebody who keeps getting it wrong? This is exactly like that. This guy's got his story wrong for 20 years, yet these newspaper articles and websites and Fox News and news channels still pay him a hefty sum of money to keep saying the same old bullshit, basically. And it's ridiculous. And now he's completely shut up about talking about the end of China, because he knows that's not going to happen. Now he's chatting about other crap. So let me show you. He's writing crap stuff like this. China is collecting the world's DNA, and the reason is sinister. Gordon Chang. So this guy claims to be a China expert when he knows nothing about China. Yeah, and don't forget, this guy wrote this book about the coming collapse of China, and he's not even an economist. He's a bloody lawyer. I mean, look, he studied law in Cornell School, and he worked in a law firm for 2 decades in Hong Kong and in Shanghai. So it doesn't make him an economist. So why are people listening to him when he says China's going to collapse? This should be done by economists, not a bloody lawyer. Seriously, he just shot himself in the foot there. And he's coming up with all these stories. I don't know where he gets his stories from. China and WHO acted maliciously, tried to deceive the world. China deliberately spread the coronavirus. What are the strategic consequences? So can you see, he stopped talking crap about China's going to collapse. Now he's using this coronavirus stuff. He's jumping on the bandwagon. China will be the next empire to enter the Afghan graveyard. Oh really? Just because America failed in Afghanistan, he thinks China's going to fail as well. He's making another prediction. Delta variant could end the Communist Party. This is the most ridiculous one I've seen. China has already contained the Delta virus in Nanjing. There's no new cases in Nanjing anymore, and China's going to contain the virus in the other cities as well around China. It's not a problem, but he needs to look at America. He's born in America, and he's an American. He needs to look at America first. And America is suffering from the Delta virus, then that is gone out of control. And he needs to look at the number of cases every day, number of deaths every day. It's rising, and America's the problem. America's lost over 600,000 people, more deaths than World War One, World War Two, Vietnam, Korean, Iraq War combined. And not only that, last year's census shows that America's population is going down. There's been more deaths than births last year, and obviously including all the coronavirus deaths. So if you have a country where there's more deaths than births, you have a major issue there, right? But he's not going to write anything about that, is he? He's going to write something about China. It makes me think that, the fact that he's writing a lot of crap about China, he hates China a lot, and I just think he's got daddy issues, and I got a feeling that he hates his dad for whatever reason. Maybe he walked out on him, or maybe kind of gave him a slap on his bum. Who knows? There's a reason. It seems like it all stems from daddy issues. And if you look at his latest stuff, China's endgame is world domination. So compare that to his story 20 years ago where he says China's going to collapse, and compare it now, endgame is world domination. Can you see the difference? You see the contradiction is putting himself under. He's contradicting himself. You can't say 1 minute a country's going to collapse, and next minute country's looking for world domination. They both are not the same thing. They can't go together. Seriously, this guy sees China's US treasury holdings in conjunction with allies. So can you see what he's trying to do now? He's trying to act like Trump. He knows China's not going to collapse, so he's looking to do dirty tactics, and he wants America to do dirty tactics to help China collapse itself. So he wants America to seize China's US Treasury holdings. So can you see what he's trying to do? He's using Trump tactics, basically. You can't compete with a country legally and fairly, so you want to use dirty tactics to kind of put them down. And he's also doing the same thing here. US-China relations, 4 reasons to scale back diplomatic facilities in both countries. So can you see what he's trying to do? He's obviously, failed with his, silly predictions, and now he's trying to use dirty tactics, and just like Trump, he's resorting to dirty tactics to contain China, but it's just not going to work. I mean, coming up with silly ideas like this, what do you think China's going to do in return? So this guy, he's a lawyer, he's not an economist, he doesn't know what he's talking about, the economy. People should stop giving him airtime, because he clearly doesn't know what he's on about. He doesn't know anything about China, and he's called a China expert. And we have somebody like that in UK as well. I'm going to be talking about him in another video. But that's all I'm going to give airtime to this guy. I don't want to give him too much airtime, because clearly he doesn't deserve it. He's not even Chinese, he's not a China expert, he knows nothing about China, and he's just making money out of lies. And for him, the American dream is making money out of lies, and that's how he's living. And he's worth over $1 million. I mean, I've checked his records. He's making a big living just being anti-China and coming up with anti-Chinese articles. So I guess being anti-Chinese pays. I don't think his father's going to be alive right now, but if he's in his grave, he's probably turning in his grave looking at some of these articles, because no matter how, his dad was still fully Chinese, and seeing his son doing stuff like this, and I'm sure he'll be turning in his grave and cursing him from the heavens, who knows. But yeah, I hope he can live with himself, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share. See ya.